Hey guys, welcome to the vlog. My name is MisterET, and in today's vlog we install some LED tail lights on my Mark 7 GTI. Stay tuned. So I've been getting a ton of comments from you guys asking me if I've sold the Mark 7, if I've forgotten about it, if I'll ever work on it again. So I just thought, we got some parts during the holiday season, and I've been so busy with the Mazda Speed 3 that I haven't actually installed anything yet. So in today's vlog, you have a treat. We're going to install these taillights. I'm just going to give you a list of things that you need, some key pointers as we're installing this, and the overall fit and finish, feel, and how I think they work. I'm not going to go through the whole thing with you guys. I'm just going to show you little bits here and there, but you're going to have a pretty good idea of how to install these. So first couple things you want to do, make sure that your car is clean when you're doing this, and then unbox all of your parts. Make sure that you have everything, that you have all the bulbs. I've seen some kits where some of the bulbs come with the kit, some of the bulbs do not come with the kit. So make sure that your kit comes with everything that you need before disassembling anything. So that way you don't stay stuck somewhere in between fully done and in this state here, and you can't use your car for a couple days. So first off, what are you going to need? You're going to need one of these guys so you can fish your different wires from your kit through all of these different panels here. You're probably going to need a few needle nose pliers. You're going to need a few of these to pop your panels off. You're going to need probably a little screwdriver, as well as one of these with an 8mm to remove your tail lights. So the first thing you want to do before anything else is actually disconnect your battery, because you're working on something that's electrical on the car. And then after that we can start popping off some panels and removing the tail lights. So as you can see, physically installing these is actually quite easy. This takes about 5 minutes, and this takes another 5 minutes. On this one over here you have to remove two 8mm, and it's quite easy to do because all you have to do is just remove a little plastic pocket on the underside of the panel, and you're able to unscrew those two screws. As far as this guy goes here, there is on the inside just a little tab that you have to move out of the way, and a plastic screw that you need to unscrew, and then this just pops right out. What takes a little bit more time on this install is getting the wiring to be done properly. And if you guys remember, I have the Urban Joke Taillight mod, so I'm going to have to deconfigure that in my OBD11 before I turn the car on and start testing these taillights. So guys, as you can see, we've made a nice mess. So this is all the way through. This is all the way through here. And then if you start looking at the top here, as you can see, I've removed all the plastic panels around this whole area, and that's going to allow us to snake the adapter harness basically from this section here all the way up to this section over here, and enable the turn signals to come on. So that's going to be our next part here. So all I've got to do now is actually disconnect these two over here, and then I'll be able to start snaking wires through. What I've done is I've reverted back to the standard coding for the Urban Joke, so I don't have that in the way. And as you can see, if you look here, the wires are snaked through. And now I'm at the part where I need to get these wires here and that little connector to go into these pins. So if we zoom in here, we'll see this guy. So this is the bottom outer connector, and this is pin 3. This is actually, I would say, one of the more difficult portions of this, and it's not necessarily super clear in Deutsch Auto Parts' walkthrough. So there's actually a little pin on the side here, so hopefully you guys can see that. You actually need to push this out that way, so this will slide into pin 3. And once that's done, it actually clicks, and you know that it's in there properly. So this now will be connected into the other harness that's part of this tail light, and that will be complete on the bottom part. For the top part, I actually have to go into the connector here, and I believe it's on pin 1, and I'm going to have to put this guy in over here. So I'm going to finish doing that on this side and then do the same process on the other side. You're going to want to calculate probably, I would say, 30 to 45 minutes per side. This is a bit more involved than just installing these lights. That was very, very easy and quick. So the trunk isn't fully closed because the battery is disconnected right now, and I don't want it to latch or anything like that. But they actually look pretty good. These are the dark cherry because I wanted somewhat of a contrast with the fact that my car is red. So this is what they look like on the car. Pretty happy with the install overall. Anybody with an afternoon free and a couple tools can get this done. The only difficult part, if you ask me, is really running the wires and doing the coding. So make sure you have those 100 credits available to you before you start this project. So guys, hopefully you can see this on the camera, but I have an interesting situation. I've plugged in everything here. I have not done the coding yet, and this is what my headlights, or tail lights I should say, look like at the moment. So as you can see, turn signal is on here, not on over here. It's on here on both ends. I seem to have the backup light here, and then this is not lit up. So I think this all has to do with some interesting other wires that are actually part of these taillights that are not in any other tutorials. There's actually some switches and red wires that come out of each of these taillights. So I'm actually going to try and reconnect everything here and see if that helps or if that changes anything. And I will show you what I mean in a second here. So guys, I looked at the wiring a bit more, and it looks like this yellow wire here I had actually plugged into the wrong plug. So instead of putting it here, I had it in this pin here, which is the wrong pin. So that's why that tail light wasn't coming on. As you can see, I've still got this mess of wires here, but I have now done the coding. So let's have a look at what that looks like. So the first thing you want to do when you're redoing your coding is you want to connect to your car. So the OBD11 is in the OBD2 port, and I've now connected to the car itself. So I'm going to go into the apps, or I should say car, and then apps. And then once that ends up loading, we're going to go into the retrofit section. And then as you can see, there's a number of different choices for tail lights. We're actually going to go down to the DAP LED Tail Light Adapter Harness. And as you can see, this is actually 100 credits. So whenever you're doing this, make sure you have those 100 credits. And then normally in your list, it's going to say original or standard. You want to select LED and then press on the green check mark, hold it, and once that is done, you have now coded your new taillights. So guys, as you can see, we now have our taillights working completely, and if we have a look at the turn signals, everything works and operates properly as it should after coding. Well guys, as you can see, everything is back to normal here. These clips and all these panels actually slide back on pretty easily. There's a bit of finicking, but that's the same for any type of car. Everything looks okay inside here as well. You can't really see any wires or anything like that. So pretty happy with the way everything went back together here. Well, here we are. So the install is completely done on these taillights. We've coded, we've routed all of the wiring, we've put all the panels back in. Overall, I'd say this is a 3 out of 5 as far as difficulty installing this. You absolutely want something to fish your wires through all the different areas. So when they say in other tutorials that you might break a couple things, I unfortunately did. So These here are really finicky. As you can see, they're still holding okay, but on either side here, that little tab is really easy to break. So you gotta be really careful with that. Aside from that, everything went back together fine. Fit and finish is pretty good. The visuals are a lot better. I like the fact that I have the turn signal that's yellow now instead of having it red. It looks a lot better than the stock ones do. As far as the fit, this part here on each side seems to be a little bit lower, but you can't really see that with a camera or anything like that, and unless you're really looking closely, you're not going to see anything. So I'm pretty happy with everything overall. In the tutorial, they don't show you that red wire or those little switches that I showed you guys earlier, so don't know why my Helix tail lights from shopdap.com have that on them, but if you do have that, make sure that you do connect them. So guys, after completing this install, I figured out something really important. Those little red switches and harnesses and things like that that came from my Helix taillights actually give it the ability to sequentially turn. So as you can see, that's what those things actually do. This was another install review of these LED taillights, and I hope you enjoyed it. My name is MisterET. Hit that like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I will have more content on this channel about this Mark 7 GTI very soon.